my channel. So for today's video, we're still doing watercolor. I wanted to change it up a little bit. I was starting to get a little bored of watercolor already, so I needed to break it up. So we're doing watercolor pencils. These are Arteza. They're the Expert 48 set. I did thrift these, so the hinge is pretty messed up. I don't actually plan on keeping them in this case after this video, aside from all of the dings, which is fine, but it's that hinge that makes it really difficult to open, and it wobbles and all of that. So it does have the light fastness. I use so many products that don't have light fastness or just aren't light fast. Like last week was Crayola. Those would fade in a heartbeat in your window. So I seal everything anyway with UV resistant spray, like a clear coat. But it is handy, and it is something to talk about if that's something that you're concerned about. If you were interested in these, I think these are still on the market. I'm not 100% sure. So it's 2 trays. I have used these before, and they were used previously to me anyway because I thrifted them and they were not sealed. But I did put them back in order purely just to show you guys, but also because I made a swatch card. And I did include the light fastness, which I do want to mention something about that, is I feel like it's a little I feel like it's a little obscure the way this light fastness goes. I feel like normally the more pluses or stars or whatever that manufacturer uses or company uses, the more is typically the better. I feel like I remember seeing that. But with this one, it's the opposite. So one plus sign is good light fastness, and is excellent, and then the lower it goes, the worse it gets. So as you would expect, a lot of the like pinks and purples are pretty low. So what I'm gonna do now, because this takes up a lot of space, and there we go, it just popped right on off, is I've got this cute little candle jar that no longer has a candle in it. See, Mom, it's good to save things. I would normally keep things in the tin if it was more convenient, which typically speaking it would be. And I've got them all in this, and it's such a cute little, I love the texture on this. I mean, I like glassware anyway, but the texture is just, reminds me of the beach. Side note though. So I did already sketch up this morning dove very briefly. I say briefly, some parts took me way longer than they should have, and I'm getting pet hair everywhere. And then I've also got some just scrap paper over here that I can use to see how blends will go if I need to. But one thing I do want to mention about my swatch pad or my swatch sheet is I scribbled directly with the pencil, and then like in circular motions, and then I also scribbled straight back and forth and then went over that with water to see how it will blend out. So they do blend very well together. They don't wash out very well. So I did go as hard as I could and with black just to really push its limits, and those limits were not met. So that being said, I'm probably mostly going to treat it like colored pencils and then blend it and smooth it out with the water. And then for the background, I'll try and go very lightly. Actually, let's just, I mean, this is a darker color, so I don't expect it to give me a whole lot of good payoff. And I mean, I really scrubbed at that, and I'm really scrubbing at this. I'm not super proud of it. Yeah, it's not giving what I want it to give. But another thing you can do is, I'll just take this blue here, with watercolor pencils is you can treat the pencil tip as like a watercolor pan. And then you can also shave them down with a knife and get some cool textures with that too. So I'll probably be doing the tip of the pencil for my background. Originally in the reference photo it was a brick background. I don't want to do brick. I think I want to do, I don't know yet. I really don't, because the bird's predominantly gray. This is going to be black, so I want something colorful. I did like a bluish green last video, and then 2 videos before that were both very green backgrounds. So I don't know. I still want it to look like it's in nature. I don't know. I'm thinking of doing like a bokeh background with the circles. I just don't know what color, but I want it to be vibrant. Let me look at my swatches. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's just get into coloring it to start with. I'm going to do very light layers to start with, the lightest I can, just so that I am not breaking down the texture of the paper so that I can still build. Because that's something that I noticed the last time I'd used these was you have to be careful of that, because once you can't put color on, you just can't put color on. There's no more just trying to scribble it on top. Adding a little bit of that dark bricky red, that garnet color, into some of this to give it a little bit more dimension, make it a little bit rusty even, so that it's not just a flat black. I don't want it to look boring. we have our shape in much better, I kind of want to just start with the background down here and see how it looks. If not, we can go over it with something darker. What I'm going to do is I've got a scrap piece of paper. I'm going to scribble directly onto it and lift the paint from this. It's in the way, isn't it? I didn't even realize that the cord for the mic was just hanging there in the way. I apologize. It has that broken off piece, but that's going to be a good edge that I can use for my detail work. I wanted to do like a bokeh, I don't know how you pronounce it, style background, so I've got some different lids so that I can trace some circles. This one might be a little too big, but we're gonna go with it anyway. So I didn't do my usual signature because I did it along with something. I'm not a fan of the background, and ignore this because I'm just going to chop it off. What would you do with the background? Because I still might be able to fix it. I just don't know how. So it's still drying a little bit, but... Oh, wait. don't know how I didn't notice this. The other day I walked onto my porch, right? And I saw this feather. And I recognized it immediately. It's a mourning dove feather. It's what we're painting here. I promise I didn't stage this. I just set it on my desk because I didn't know what to do with it at the moment. But I saved it. I think it's legal to have mourning dove feathers. Let me know. I know certain birds you're not supposed to have because of the National Migratory Bird Act. But as a kid, I didn't know about that. Neither did my grandparents. And we used to go out to a park nearby their house, literally walking distance. Like a 5-minute walk from their house, their condo. And we'd go to the park and would pick up bird feathers. So it made me think of them. My grandfather's no longer with us, and my grandmother on that side struggles with pretty strong, I think it's Alzheimer's or dementia. I don't know the difference, to be honest with you. I'm a horrible granddaughter. But she's really not there anymore. So in a sense, I've lost them both. So whenever I see a bird feather, it makes me think of them. Best grandparents. I had great grandparents on both sides. I've lost both my grandfathers. But I digress. The bird's complete. The background's trash. If you liked this video, like and subscribe. Hopefully you liked the art as well as the video. And come see me again next week. Actually, I lied. There's going to be bonus videos this month. With it being National Watercolor Month. Yeah, with it being National Watercolor Month, and I'm not following the prompts to start with already. I didn't really realize there was prompts, to be honest with you. I decided that instead of just doing 4 videos of watercolor this month, I would step up my game and do mini watercolor bookmarks to knock out multiples at once to make it really easy. I can save them and give them as gifts later, but at least if I'm not following the prompts, I can at least do the equivalent of a painting a day. Even though I'm not doing it every day, I'm gonna try and do the equivalent for the whole month. So stay tuned for that. If you're watching this video, there's already one out. Don't forget to stay artsy. Bye, guys.